Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Too Long Didn't Read Dota News. I'll give you a rundown of the Summit, and then quick updates on other tournament results, roster shuffles, and Dota news. So to start off with the Summit4 concluded with an exciting and surprising final on Sunday evening. The event was a double elimination style tournament over the course of 4 days. So Mineski saw the quickest exit from the tournament, losing to both OG and then VP without winning a single game. Mineski was playing without their captain and their drafter, so they had to use a stand-in. They didn't seem overly upset with their experience, according to Jo, who was the stand-in, as he came onto the couch and casted the next series immediately after their loss. Digital Chaos was the next team eliminated, but they had a strong showing, easily taking a game off EG and eHome. Other games, except eHome's domination in Game 2, were very close and came down to late-game decision-making, something that DC is a little bit lacking at the moment with their new roster. Liquid and eHome were the next to fall, losing to VP and OG in the lower bracket. VP continued their run through the lower bracket, knocking out Vici Gaming in the loser bracket finals, and entering the grand finals with momentum, ready to take on Evil Geniuses. So this was the second ever time that EG had a straight run through right into the finals. They almost always spend some time in the losers bracket before moving into the grand finals. Their domination was not evident as VP crushed them 2-0, making you wonder, why was VP in the lower bracket and EG coming from the upper? It was Game 3, and EG again gives VP a Shadow Fiend. So this is the third game in the series where VP got Shadow Fiend, and they wrecked EG with it the previous 2 games. However, PPD does ban out the Spirit Breaker this time. VP takes a very unconventional approach with a core Visage and an offlane Drow. So this strategy doesn't really pan out. Arteezy absolutely dominates on the Gyrocopter early on, owning the Drow in the offlane, and EG secures themselves at least 1 game. They proceed to take the 4th game, tying the series up 2-2, giving us what we all really want, a 5-game series. Game 5 continues to be in EG's favor, with EG taking 2 sets of barracks and over doubling VP's kill score. Now the last 10 minutes of the game are really, really intense because EG actually gets mostly team wiped for multiple fights in a row. They secure Roche before trying to go high ground again, but they quickly lose the Aegis and Cheese. So VP then starts buying back like crazy over and over again, desperately trying to fight to hold their barracks. But EG buys back the Shadow Fiend and then focuses down the throne to take the final game, making them the only team to actually have won 2 summits. Now for Arteezy, he's technically won 3, as he won the Summit 3 with the Team Secret roster. Kadogai sits down with the team after to ask about the game and the drafting decisions. It's very hard to mentally come back from being down 2-0 in a best of 5. Arteezy kind of just sits there and he says, Spirit Breaker is not good for them to play against. And once they banned out the Space Cow, they could finally start to win. EG figures out the patch at just the right time, according to PPD, and he says, well, TI is always at the end of a patch. So the Summit may have been the best one yet. So they had a bigger house with practice rooms for the players actually at the house instead of a hotel with bad internet far away from the house. OG spent a huge amount of time on the casting couch, everyone agreeing that they were sort of the MVP of the couch for the entire tournament. And Moon Meander really showed us an impressive level of memes and lighthearted cast, with Flying Crit attempting to keep things on track. So this patch also, I think, helped the event because it has more exciting gameplay and we don't see as many stomps. The Score Esports, one of the sponsors for the tournament, provided really great highlight content and interviews, so the hashtag Beyond the Sellout really wasn't overwhelming this time around, as was something that was kind of complained about at the last summit. And then to top it all off, Sir Action Slacks managed to deliver the appropriate amount of cringe and hype combined in a hilarious package of content to keep us entertained between the games. And this won't be the last time we see this very unique style tournament. Beyond the Summit announces the Summit 5 and the Summit 6 taking place in July 2016 and December 2016 as well. Now to talk about some other news with tournament updates and roster shuffles and all of those things, Game Show Global ended on Sunday, December 6th with Empire beating out 4CNL, and Empire went there with Havost as a stand-in, securing the team $150,000. The defense also finished that Sunday with Team Liquid winning the grand finals 3-1 up against OG, a little surprising after OG's dominant showing in Frankfurt. So Team Liquid secured their first LAN win and $40,000. ESL Frankfurt 2016 has been announced for June 18th and 19th, with a festival of activities going on outside the event for those attending, along with promising the standard Amazing Dota. And speaking of Amazing Dota, WCA will start out this week with 16 teams. So there are 4 groups that are playing in the group stages. The top 2 teams from each group will advance on to a single elimination style bracket. In roster news, the roster locks are set until the Shanghai Major is complete. So Chuan has left IG, as I mentioned in the last episode, and it has been shown that he is joining Newbie. Team Unknown showed promise in their Frankfurt Major qualifiers, but they've actually disbanded. Some of the team members have formed a new team with Demon. Black's removal from Fnatic was sudden, but he quickly found a new team called No Vaseline with Jonas and Fan, MyNuts, and Yapzor. CIS rejects have been noticed, and they were picked up by Team Spirit with no roster changes. And in general Dota news, now that the summit is over, we are all expecting 6.86 to drop soon. Valve mentioned that they were planning to release the Desert Terrain map with a new patch in mid-December, so we'll just have to wait and ride out the shitposts on Reddit until that happens. So thanks again for watching this week's episode of TLDR. We'll see you guys next time, or potentially sooner after the patch drops.